Independence Day, commonly known as the 4th of July. It's a federal holiday in the United States commemorating the adoption of the Declaration of Independence on July 4, 1776. Here to tell us more about the Jamaican leg of celebrations are U.S. Ambassador Pamela Bridgewater and Public Affairs Officer at the U.S. Embassy, Yolanda Kearney. And joining them is the executive chef at New York's Marriott Marquis Hotel and Marina, Armando Monteroso. Good morning.
Good morning.
This is Smile Jamaica. It's morning time. Ambassador, I'm going to start with you. Major day in the United States. What's happening here in Jamaica?
Well, yes, it is, Dahlia, a major day in the United States, and for us in Kingston at our embassy and for our embassies around the world, this is our biggest day for celebrating the independence of the United States of America, this year the 237th. So we've planned something very special this year. We have planned to have a culinary tour of the United States and featuring the cuisine of the various regions of the United States. And in order to do that most effectively, we thought that we would partner with some executive chefs from Marriott hotels with some trainee chefs in Jamaica that we have afforded some education at the University of Technology.
That's excellent. Yolanda, because the U.S. Embassy, and many people don't know this, you do a lot of cultural exchange programs here and a lot of work in terms of shoring up our own culture here in Jamaica, and the culinary part of it is a big part of who we are as Jamaicans.
Exactly right.
What are these chefs bringing to the table?
Well, as Ambassador Bridgewater noted, through the University of Technology and the Institute of Internationally Recognized Qualifications, the U.S. Embassy did sponsor the education of 15 student chefs. So we thought, well, we have a huge party every year, and we know that there's a great deal of energy that these young chefs bring. So why not use them and give them the opportunity to work with these tremendous chefs that we've brought in? And the opportunity that they have to learn is one thing, but more than that, it's, as you said, the real exchange. So being able to, and yes, we feel that the culinary arts are part of the broader arts, and I think that this evening our guests will be able to enjoy that. When
people think 4th of July, they think fireworks, but most importantly, Armando, they think food.
I agree. I couldn't agree more.
Think food. What are some of the things that they'll be allowed to experience and to learn to prepare while you're here?
Sure. It's been a great experience. Just being in Jamaica, the hospitality of everyone that's been here, it's been fantastic. But we sort of broke it into 3 sections. We're focusing on the northeast region of the United States, the southwest region, and then the Gulf Coast. So we're producing items from those regions. We sort of split up into teams, and we have the students working with each chef and focusing on those flavors and sort of the techniques of those areas to produce some fun food. It's been a phenomenal experience.
I've always been amazed sometimes when American chefs come to Jamaica and they kind of take a bit of the Jamaican style and Americanize it. Is some of that happening as a part of the exchange? Are you learning some of our culinary tricks as well?
Sure, no, of course. I think as chef we continually learn, and as we travel and taste food, you always want to learn something, take something away, and that's definitely found some few things that I'm going to incorporate in my style, which I look forward to doing.
I will look forward to tasting it. Ambassador, since you've been here, I mean, you've done quite a bit of work in culture here in Jamaica in terms of the performing arts, the culinary arts. A personal interest in that aspect?
Well, I think I do have a personal interest. I love to cook. I love music. I love the arts. I think the arts do so much to broaden our perspectives, to help us understand and appreciate differences in people. And so we think that this particular training with the chefs is so special because we've taken it to even another level. If I could share that with you, a U.S. businessman here, Alex Anteas, who plans to open a restaurant in a few months, has indicated that because of the training program that we've had with these young chefs, he intends to hire one of them based on someone who has performed well. And we are encouraging other Jamaicans to use these wonderful young people, building more on your legacy of fine food and hospitality.
There's also been a long history, Yolanda, of Jamaican or young chefs studying culinary in America and going away on exchange programs and so on. Do you see this as a continuation of that effort, them being able to learn here at home?
Well, absolutely. Just to be clear, the training that our student chefs received through IIRQ is just the first step in their training. The actual qualification will have to come at either an institute like Hart. They can study elsewhere in the Caribbean, or as you've said, in the United States or elsewhere. So we're also hoping that those Jamaican sponsors who see the real talent of a young chef will consider taking it to the next level and perhaps sponsoring one of those chefs for the next step in their education.
But the opportunity they get, Ambassador, to meet an executive chef, I mean,
And work with.
and to work with, that's not something everybody gets to do unless you attain a certain level of qualification. I mean, you don't run into Armando just so in the kitchen. You have to be at a certain level. It's a great experience for them to be able to receive this kind of quality training at their level.
Well, we think so, and that was the idea behind this initiative. So we're just delighted it's come to fruition.
All right, what else is happening on 4th of July here in Jamaica for you?
We have a fantastic evening planned for our guest tonight, besides the magnificent culinary tour, and I think you're going to take a look at some of the dishes in a moment. We are ending this year with a green initiative of our own. So we are ending with a laser show. It should be visible throughout a lot of Kingston, actually, so that even people who are not with us in the building will be able to enjoy that.
All right, well, there's so many Jamaicans in the U.S. The 4th of July has just become very infectious here. We celebrate Thanksgiving now and the 4th of July, so we're very happy to celebrate with you, and I thank you all for being with us, Ambassador, and thank you, Yolanda, for this initiative. Culinary is a big part of who we are as Jamaicans, so it's great that we get to develop that craft here. And thank you to Armando, U.S. Ambassador Pamela Bridgewater, and Public Affairs Officer at the U.S. Embassy, Yolanda Kearney, and Executive Chef at New York's Marriott Marquis Hotel, Armando Monteroso. Now, you know he had to be where the food is, right? Neville joins the 4th of July celebration as he learns to make an all-time American favorite.
Oh, thank you, dearly. I'm here with Executive Chef at the Marriott Marquis Hotel and Marina in San Diego, Ben Cottrell, and he's going to be showing me how to prepare a 4th of July favorite. I got it right this morning, shrimp ceviche taco.
Ceviche, yes.
I got it right.
That's it.
Good morning.
Great.
Welcome to
Morning,
Jamaica.
everybody.
Also, it's the first time. Having a good time?
Having a great time. Love Jamaica. First time here. People have been just, like Chef Armando said, it's been just the ultimate in hospitality.
Yeah.
Just wonderful people. And just very genuine. I love all the culinary food we've tried over this last couple days. We've tried all kinds of cuisine, and it's just been wonderful.
We were talking about the youngsters that you guys have been helping. Just before you start to make what you're going to make this morning, what kind of response have you got from these kids?
Well, these kids, they're really motivated. I mean, they're young and they're impressionable, and they want to. They want to learn, the different techniques, and that sense of. I feel a sense of mentorship, and get whatever I can leave them with in the short time I'm here to get them, to the next level and beyond, and really maybe create somewhat of a legacy for the future.
Yeah. Well, Chef, whatever you could leave me with.
Let's go.
What are we gonna make?
We're gonna do some shrimp ceviche tacos today. So, put a little shrimp down here on the table. I'm gonna cut it up. Now, when you're making this, it's probably the best that the smaller you cut the seafood, you could use shrimp, you can use fish. The smaller you cut it, the quicker it will cook in the lime juice, and I'll explain as we go.
Okay.
So we're gonna cut some shrimp here. This shrimp's already been cleaned for the sake of television.
And I'll be able to eat all of this.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
And we sell
just to make sure.
And I'll tell you, out in California, we probably make about 100 pounds of ceviche a day.
100 pounds.
For our restaurant out in the our tequila bar.
Ambassador, can I get a visa to go? Thank you very much, ma'am.
I'm sure she can expedite that.
It's neatly done.
Okay.
So what's
Bring
next?
the bowl over here.
Yeah.
We're gonna put this shrimp in the bowl. Okay. All right. And then we're gonna take a little bit of onion, diced onion. Put a little diced onion in here. Okay. All right. That one's a little big. We'll leave that one out. A little bit of cilantro. Okay. Okay, now we're going to do the Scotch bonnet. We're using Scotch bonnet today.
You wouldn't use this kind of pepper in the United
No,
States.
we would probably use probably a Serrano or a jalapeno chili. All peppers have a different Scoville unit, and Scotch bonnet is definitely up there in the top. But it's got a great flavor. It's Scotch bonnet is one of the.
It's a little hotter, you would
yeah.
say.
Now the habanero, which is pretty much the similar pepper, which they call it in Latin America.
Yeah.
And this is yeah. You got to be careful when you're using Scotch bonnet. You really have to take into account of what exactly.
Yeah.
Of course, a little salt. We use kosher salt. I find it. It's a little nicer than iodized salt.
Yeah. And you've worked in the Caribbean before, haven't you?
I've worked in the Caribbean. I worked in St. Thomas,
Okay.
and both myself and Amado have both worked in Latin America. He worked in Costa Rica, and I've worked in Brazil. So
Okay. In Brazil?
yeah, I worked in Brazil for 3 years.
Okay.
My wife's Brazilian.
Oh, fantastic. I asked before we came on, cooking is cooking.
Cooking is cooking, but
it's a little different
I think
in the
cooking-
areas that you go.
I think cooking though is 90% common sense.
Yeah.
So
Oh, I'm going to come over here because apparently the viewers at home want to see what you
okay,
did.
so you see we got the shrimp.
Beautiful.
Got the onions, the cilantro, the shrimp, obviously a little bit more lime juice, and it's always imperative that you use fresh limes.
Yeah.
Don't cheat and use the bottled stuff. Got to use fresh.
There you go.
A lot of people, okay, you know.
Tilt it again that way for us.
Okay,
Yeah,
here
there
we
you
go.
There you go, chef.
There's your ceviche. Now we're going to take these, going to make sure the liquid, but this is the ceviche. So this ceviche has already been done ahead.
That one
We're
right
going to
there.
add a little bit of ketchup right here. That's not, yeah, that's all right, that's not ketchup, so I'm not going to use it. So, all right. So,
So this is the finished product.
yes. Put these in these little paddles. Almost look like a cricket paddle.
Yeah.
And then,
I could do this, folks.
see?
Well, actually, I can't.
It's not that. It's not that hard.
No, I couldn't do that. It's quite neat.
And then there you go.
And that's the name of that
And
too.
a little bit of garnish on top. And that's it. It's a two bite appetizer, and that is the name of the game.
That's the name of that too. That is beautifully done.
And a little bit of sauce to finish, which is okay.
Interesting.
Okay, beautiful. That's it.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Beautifully done. All right. So when do you leave, by the way?
We leave tomorrow early. I'm fortunate enough to leave a little bit later, and Armando and Steve are back to New York, and I'm heading back to California at noon.
Thanks again for coming.
Hey, it's been a great experience.
And great to meet you.
Thank you.
Executive chef at the Marriott Marquis Hotel and Marina in San Diego, Ben Cottrell. We take a break because we have news in 5. But when you see us again, we continue the 4th of July culinary favorites with a bit of dessert. Don't move.
Welcome back to Smile Jamaica. So earlier we got a savory bite of the 4th of July with a shrimp ceviche taco prepared by executive chef James Ben Cottrell. Now it's time for dessert, and we are going to be having a Boston cream pie. And with us is executive pastry chef at the Marriott Marquis, New York, Steve Evans, and he's here to show us how to make a delectable pie. Welcome to Smile Jamaica. It's morning time.
Thank you.
All right, so let's get started.
Okay, well,
What do we have here?
okay, we're going to do this with a pastry cream, which is like a custard. And we're going to put some toasted sponge croutons on. Then we're going to finish it with a chocolate sauce. And we're going to finish it with 22 carat gold leaf, which is edible.
A 22 carat gold leaf, which is edible.
Edible, yes. Yes.
Steve,
So,
do you know about the cash for gold here?
I have heard, yes, but the security guys are outside.
Oh,
so
all right.
I think I'll be okay. So.
You should be fine.
Okay. All right, so this is what we call a shot. Normally with a Boston cream pie, it's a layer, okay? And it's a layer of sponge, layer of pastry cream, and we finish it with the chocolate. But we're doing it in individual portions. So we're going to put some of the pastry cream into the dish. And of course, as you can see, we're using a teacup. And I believe there was a party in Boston at one time, so this is obviously the reason. So.
Yes, so we're getting pretty metaphorical here. We have our teacups having our pie, and we're piping them out of the bag. Tell me I got that right, Steve.
Yes, piping bag. Yes.
I know a little thing.
Culinary words. Okay, so we'll put the croutons on, and this is going to give us our texture in the cup when we eat this. So, and any old sponge that you have left over, never throw it away. Just cut it up and put it in the oven, dry it out, and you have some croutons.
Oh, yeah? Oh, I'm telling you, Andre, I'm hopeless. I'm hopeless. So the custard's at the bottom, then we put the croutons, and then now this is
the chocolate
our chocolate.
sauce.
Yeah.
We usually use like a ganache, which is a combination of chocolate and cream. Melt both of them, mix them together, and you have a nice sauce.
All right, so you have to melt it before you mix it. Nice. Wow.
So the combination of the
Steve,
cream.
you're making it look simple, but I know if I did it, it would be a mess. Yes.
No, it's quite easy. I'm sure you would get it down pat after about a week.
No.
Okay, so this is our gold leaf, and we are just going to take our scissors and put some of the gold on the center.
And that's edible?
It's edible. Yeah.
Wow. Viewers, are you as speechless as I am right now? That's amazing.
So, they say the proof is in the pudding.
Oh, it is.
So,
Neville, this is why I did this interview, because it was gold time. Nice.
Yeah. It's good.
Excellent, Steve. And these are some of the things that the students are learning from you and how to make.
Yes, they are. And I mean, the students have been so responsive. And I remember the first day they came in, they're all chatting. I said, guys, time for work. You can't hear a pin drop now in the kitchen. And they are so intense and so full of wanting to learn that it's great. It really is.
I think pastry is so delicate and so technical that you really have to know what you're doing to master it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, well, pastry is very different from general cooking. It's all about formulas. Formulas work. You can't add a few more eggs or a bit more flour because I'm sure if you've tried it, you've had a disaster on your hands. Yeah, it's very different. You have to have a lot of patience. We do a lot of decorative stuff. So if you're a little artistic, then you tend to lean towards pastry. So.
Learned anything? Any pastry tricks here in Jamaica?
You know, no. The fascinating thing for me is the varieties of the fruits. I mean, there's something like 30 different kinds of mango that I never knew.
You didn't know?
No,
yes.
no. I mean,
And our apple is different from your apple.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. I mean, but again, it's so fresh, and that's the difference. You know, we can't grow that kind of stuff in New York. We have winters, so it's so refreshing to see that kind of stuff. The products are fabulous.
Excellent. I'm sure they're going to create a couple of things with the fruit that we have, with some of the things that you've taught them, Steve. It's amazing that you guys made the trip. I'm so glad that you did. Boston, you notice I'm eating around the gold because I'm taking the gold home. I am. I'm going to actually steal Neville's gold out of his. And when you're finished having the pie, a little exercise is going to be required. So I want to thank Executive Pastry Chef at the Marriott Marquis, New York, Steve Evans, for this wonderful 4th of July gift. I'm loving it.